Hi, everybody. Welcome to the After Dark Film Society. My name is B.
I'm Ashley.
I'm Chloe.
I'm Sunny.
And we are here to discuss movies, good, the bad, but all involving DPS cast members or DPS adjacent, because sometimes we like to feature good old Sam Waterston. Yeah, but today we're doing a bit of a special episode because instead of a movie or two movies as we usually do, we're doing a TV episode special where each of us has an episode of a show that features one of the boys from DPS. Anyway, I'm going to start off, and we are going to I believe it's the 90s, Murder, She Wrote, starring legend, icon, and star Dame Angela Lansbury. It's the most tackiest, beautiful show I have ever seen in my life. And if you don't know what it is, it's Angela Lansbury. She plays Jessica Fletcher, who was a novelist, but she ends up being around murder a lot, and she uses her mystery novel writing skills to help solve these murders. It's kind of like a Midsummer Murders where I don't think I would move to the same place as her because she is just surrounded by murder. But it'd be like that. So this episode features Gail Hansen, and he plays a man named Arnold Wynn, which is
Incredible name.
Yeah, it's a mildly stupid name, but here we are. It's the 90s. So it starts with Jessica Fletcher joining these two other mystery novelists to film an infomercial for the Murder of the Month Club, a subscription service by a publishing company that sends mystery novels monthly. But before the studio shoot, two men are observed outside a Buffalo bus depot. Shout out to Buffalo, where Ashley is from. One of them kills the other, and it's later revealed to be Stuart Murphy. We'll get into that in a second. Strangling him with a tie or something. The killer, Arnold Wynn, appears to be a fellow writer or acquaintance. And then during the taping of the infomercial in New York City, chaos ensues when another death strikes. This time, a studio audience member collapses and dies from a poisoning via tonic water after asking an off-script question. So Jessica teams up with a lieutenant and other detective figures to unravel the motives behind both killings. So the suspects are Arnold Wynn, played by Gail Hansen. He's revealed as the first killer. He murdered Stuart Murphy in Buffalo, like I said. Stuart had uncovered Arnold's plagiarism or blackmail scheme involving stolen manuscripts from their creative writing class. The other suspect is Joellen Waller, a best-selling writer involved in the infomercial, later exposed as the second killer. She poisoned the studio audience member connected to Arnold in their shared class in an attempt to cover tracks and silence him. This episode's kind of crazy because there's so much happening, like always. When usually Murder, She Wrote, it's like one murder and who did it, but this time it's like there's more than one, and it's kind of confusing when you're watching it to keep track of it, but here we are.
Yeah, Law and Order ass episode where
I
they have
know,
like 10
right?
suspects.
Where's John Law and Order?
I know.
And also the second murder is kind of crazy because the victim died from an allergic reaction to quinine in tonic water, which is so weird.
And definitely a real thing that happens widely enough that we would all be able to be like, it was the tonic water.
It was I don't know how I can't even remember how they managed to lock on and be like, no, you killed him with tonic water.
It was a bracelet. So they had a bracelet that had like people who have like deadly allergies have the bracelet to be like, don't give me peanut butter or whatever.
Right. Can't have tonic water because I'm allergic to fun.
Yeah.
Also, like halfway through, Gail Hansen's character dies, and
Ooh.
there's a security guard near the body, but he doesn't fucking see it somehow. And it's only found when these two people are leaving the studio and they like literally stumble upon him. and I
They,
don't know
trip
why.
over his body.
Where the security guard, who was 5 feet away, didn't notice it somehow.
You have to understand he was slightly around the corner. How could he have seen him?
God, you're so right. I'm being too critical on security guards, ACAB.
He was slightly in the dark.
Oh yeah, there was a vague, literal, real life vignette happening, so
Yeah.
only immediately surrounding the body was visible. I also want to talk about how the Murder of the Month Club sounds way too modern in a sense where it feels like it would be a fucking book talk thing. And it
absolutely is. I don't know if it is, but it has to be.
It's so, I don't know, it just feels so modern where I was like, okay.
There's absolutely a book subscription club that is centered around mystery novels, murder novels, crime novels,
But now, probably true crime shit, because true crime people are weird as hell.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, 100%. But I do love the fact that the infomercial was the backdrop because it's peak 90s, camp.
Call 1-800 kill someone.
Call 1-800 I'm allergic to tonic water. But so this episode we had 2 killers. Now I want your guys' opinion. Do you think having 2 murderers in one storyline was too much? Because I don't know about you. For Murder, She Wrote, yeah.
At least I could understand it, if that makes sense. The episodes I'm going to talk about later, it was my second time watching them, and I still feel like I don't understand them. So I don't think it was too much, but...
I was going to say, we're going to talk about Law and Order episodes, and they have at least 3 red herrings before they finally catch the person who did it, and they have a dramatic confession at the end.
True.
Having 2 people who kill someone.
But it's Murder,
That's
She
pussy
Wrote.
shit.
Jessica Fletcher's supposed to hold your hand and walk you through it. So I do actually, because this episode was kind of, it was short in the sense of Gail Hansen's character, yes, while he was one of the killers, he died halfway through, so there's not much else to discuss regarding that. But I do have a game.
Great.
So yeah. I've collected a gaggle of plot scenarios for murder mystery stuff. And I want you guys to guess if 1, it's a real Murder, She Wrote episode plot. 2, it could be real, but from a completely other mystery show like Poirot, Columbo. Or 3, totally fake.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm going to be really good at this, I can already tell.
Okay. Number 1. A woman is murdered at a pie eating contest, and the only clue is a monogrammed napkin.
That is absolutely 100% from Murder, She Wrote.
I agree.
Yeah,
definitely.
Murder, She Wrote.
Fake! Haha!
Oh, fuck.
No way.
I got got.
You got. But it would be a Murder, She Wrote moment. Okay,
Are you kidding? Pie eating contest? That's straight up Murder, She Wrote.
I know! Okay, here's another one. A best-selling author fakes his own death to escape his fan club, only to be murdered for real.
I'm gonna go a different murder show.
That sounds like something that happened in real life.
Okay.
I feel like I've seen that episode of something. I feel like that's a real plot somewhere.
Okay. It's actually from Midsummer Murders. Which,
damn.
If there's been a murder scenario, it's probably been done on Midsummer Murders.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's another one. A psychic predicts a murder at a seance, then turns up dead herself.
I feel like I've seen that episode of Law and Order.
I don't even know what to do
that.
anymore, so I'm going Murder, She Wrote.
Chloe, what was your answer?
Someone's got to have done that somewhere, whether it was Murder, She Wrote or something else.
Okay. Well, Ashley gets a point there because it is a Murder,
Yay!
She Wrote episode.
Yeah!
Biggest fan.
A man is murdered in a locked room, and the only witness is a blind dog.
Oh.
Not to be a dick or anything, but isn't the point of witnessing something that you saw it?
Could hear it, could smell it.
I suppose. Yeah. I think you made that up.
Okay.
And also it's kind of fucked up that you made that up. You're kind of making fun of disabled dogs there, and that's kind of fucked.
We don't want to have to cancel you from the podcast, B.
Yeah. Can't kick you off.
It's fake. Oh no.
You should have just lied. You should have got your way out of that one.
I can't lie.
I would have checked. If you said,
would've
"Oh yeah, that
believed
was
you.
on Columbo," I would have believed you.
Yeah.
I can't tarnish the integrity of this beautiful game that I just made up. Jessica goes undercover in a Renaissance fair to solve a murder involving poisoned mead.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely
that's
Murder,
real.
She Wrote.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's fake.
What?
Nope.
Oh yeah, it's fake.
Are you sure?
No Renaissance Fair episode, like at all.
Probably.
B, have you seen every single episode of Murder, She Wrote to be able to say definitively?
No, but I've looked up.
Okay,
plots.
that's what I thought.
I've looked up plots. There's probably a Renaissance fucking episode there somewhere. Let's see here. A murder takes place at a Sherlock Holmes fan convention, and everyone is in costume.
Like, that sounds like a Supernatural episode.
I'm going Murder, She Wrote again. I'm gonna just run with it.
That's really funny. Like, that sounds like something that would happen in real life, but I feel like if it had, I would have heard about it.
It's taken from an episode of Monk.
Oh, that would make sense.
Interesting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, and the final one I have is a man is stabbed during a magician's act, but the knife is part of the trick.
That just happened in the beginning of Now You See Me Too, probably.
I have not seen it.
It sounds like something I've actually watched in an episode before, so I'm gonna go just a random another crime TV show.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna go with Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah, it was Murder, She Wrote.
Ah, fuck!
Of course it was.
God, I was awful at that. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Fake fan of murder mysteries.
I know.
One that I'm sure has happened at some point is like, I could just be making this up, but I'm sure it's happened somewhere where the killer is like a parrot that repeats the victim's final words. Like,
I'm sure that's happened on Law and Order.
Yeah.
That does give very Law and Order energy. Anyway, that was my game. And that was Murder, She Wrote. Very good episode, very fun episode, very fun time. Gail Hansen dies. It'd be like that. So who has the next episode?
I think it was me in the
Yeah.
list. Slay.
Okay.
So let's see here. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about an episode of Law and Order Criminal Intent that stars James Watterson, our beloved Pitts. And then I'm talking about just a regular old Law and Order episode with Al. So our Meeks. Oh, I just realized you guys gave me Meeks and Pits. Wait,
Yeah.
I gotta eat. Okay, so the first episode we're gonna talk about is the criminal intent one. It's season 8, episode 8, and James appears as the victim's husband. He's the father of 2 kids and suspected of the murder because him and his wife are going through a divorce. We obviously see who the murderer is at the beginning of the episode, but they do keep like finding evidence that points to James, so that kind of sucks. It's kind of a confusing episode, I'm not gonna lie, and I've watched it twice. And also I feel like every time it ends, I still don't know like what the ending was.
Yeah, I don't think they know what the ending is either.
Like, I swear both episodes I watched, there wasn't, like, a final ending, like, you never got an exact answer.
Well, Law and Order loves to do this thing where it ends on, like, the case isn't complete, like, they don't get, like, a guilty verdict or, like, the suspect dies or whatever, where they're just like, "Oh, it was a mistrial. Well, I guess we're gonna have to try it again in a few months," and then you just never hear about it again.
Yeah, and that literally happened in, like, both these episodes, because his wife in this was, like, I'm gonna get this wrong because it was confusing, but, like, on the Olympics, like, board committee or something?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and, like,
she
she
was
was
an
being
equestrian.
blackmailed. Yeah. And then they thought it was, James who did it because she was, like, mega rich and wanted the money,
Yeah, but it
and
wasn't him.
it
Uh,
wasn't him. Wasn't it Pedro Pascal?
well,
Yeah.
so that was both times we watched this together, we we in shock went, "Oh my god, Pedro Pascal's in this episode." Because she was sleeping with Pedro Pascal or was sleeping with Pedro Pascal's girlfriend?
Yes, she was sleeping with the girlfriend, or maybe it was his wife. I don't they were weird about
Partner.
it.
Did I
Partner for
forget that there
sure.
were lesbians?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and I missed that the first time we watched it, which I don't know how. I think mainly because we skipped around a lot just because we wanted to only see James.
Yeah,
That's probably
I don't
it.
give a fuck about the lesbians, I just
I love lesbians. Let's go lesbians.
let's
But yeah,
go.
they were, like, both cheating on Pedro and James.
Well,
So
so but James knew about that.
yeah, and James just so he said that in the divorce, he would give her, like, everything, custody of the kids and everything, as long as he could continue living the way he was, which was, like, with no job in this, like, really nice house in New York City or something, wherever it was they were.
And that's
And
illegal?
yeah, that's his literal line. He goes, "And that's
And that's
illegal?"
illegal? Is that a crime, officer?
That he just wants to be rich and preppy and cool for the rest of his life.
Yeah, with his supervillain beard.
Yeah, which is so bad because he has the cutest floppy hair in this, and it just doesn't look right together. Just don't. I mean, there's not a ton that happens in the episode. I think they really lead it up to like, well, so Pedro Pascal dies in the middle of it.
Yeah. Well,
He gets like,
he's
shot
always
in a
dying.
yeah, he gets shot in a convenience store while like this guy's like mugging it or whatever.
Yeah, that just happens in Law& and Order episodes, like, when they need something to happen, they just have someone mug a convenience store while a main character's in it.
Yeah.
And the main
And
character fucking dies.
Yeah.
so they just like kind of led up to finding out it was the girl, but then they never like completed the episode and it just ended. And so you're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, they got to the 45-page maximum, and then they were like, "Well, that's it."
And that's literally exactly what happened.
Yeah, they
There's
can't
a
go beyond
great
42 minutes, so
yeah. There's a great part where James refers to himself as daddy to the kids.
oh,
And
hell yeah.
the first time we watched that, of course, we all took it very inappropriately and were screaming at each other about
I know what
it.
you're talking about.
You
I
guys, but I
forgot.
was perfectly normal about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
What the only thing that you're missing is that one bit where he's talking to his lawyer in his kitchen, and he's leaned up against the counter with his dress shirt sleeves rolled up halfway up his arms,
Slut.
and looks like an absolute slut. And then I think, what does he say? He's like, he's talking about his in-laws. Like, if they, I told them that if they want to see the kids, then they shouldn't cause a problem.
Yes, he's talking about his own blackmail where he finds out, like, all the wife's money is gonna go back to the parents who, like, own half of, like, Belgium or whatever it is. This is, like, crazy plot. And to guarantee that he still gets to keep at least a sum of the money, which I think they say something about, like, 10 million, which is low-key crazy amount of money. He, like, blackmails them into giving him that money by saying, like, "If you ever wanna see your grandkids, you gotta give me this money." Which is, like, unrelated to everything else that's happening, but at least he stands on business, so
Yeah, him and his supervillain beard.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's really it for that episode. It's very confusing. I definitely understand the next one more, but also the next one ends with, like, you never actually, like, getting confirmed who the killer is, which is annoying. So the
Law and
next
Order
one is,
classic.
yeah, it's Law and Order Season 2, Episode 20. It's called Intolerance. And Al is the best friend of the victim. And of course, as soon as they start investigating the murder, they find out that him and Al were, like, the smartest kids in the school, and they're always competing for the top spot. But they didn't
Mhm.
hate each other, like, it wasn't played out like school rivals, but it was, like, the parents that didn't like each other,
The
mainly Al's parents.
Yeah, the Al's parents didn't like the victim's family because the victim, correct me if I'm wrong, the victim was Chinese or East
Yeah,
Asian.
yeah.
I believe like his family were immigrated, and they were like kind of racist about that, and they felt like Al and his friend liked each other well enough, and they were always competing, but they were never mad at each other or
Yeah, it was,
anything.
like, friendly. It was, like, a fun, friendly competition, like, "Oh, I beat you in this one, like, this time," and then the next time, it would be the other way around. But Al is definitely portrayed as, like, a sweetheart in this, and it's kinda sad to watch. Like, I was rewatching it today, and you see, like, how upset he is that his, like, family all, like, collaborated almost behind his back pretty much to, like, murder his friend just so he could be the best kid in school, which is crazy. Even though they don't confirm that it's them, and all
Well,
the evidence they give you is crazy. I mean, it's, like, very implied it's them, but
so they give all the evidence that it's them, but then the victim's girlfriend, who's a friend of Al's as well, made a claim that she saw the license plate of Al's brother's like business truck or whatever.
yeah.
But then when they were looking back at her statements, it was like she said she was facing the wrong way and couldn't have seen. So then his mom, who is Emily Gilmore,
Yeah, which is low-key
being
crazy work.
she she was implicated in the murder, and was she found guilty or was she just
So,
remanded?
yeah, the girlfriend goes on the stand and says that she saw the brother Randy driving, and Emily Gilmore, we're just gonna have to refer to her as that because I don't remember her name, in the passenger seat, and that the reason, even though it went by quickly, the reason she recognized it is because the license plate said fish hook, because they work at like a fish business. And they actually like found them guilty and put them in jail, and then it ended up being a mistrial because they found out that that license plate had fallen off the car like 2 weeks ago and they hadn't gotten the new one, and like she was facing the wrong direction, so they literally end it with them calling mistrial and letting him out of jail, and that's it. You never find out what happens afterwards.
So I think like that as a Law and Order classic connoisseur, what I can tell you is that they definitely did it, but they just got really lucky with that piece of evidence.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it ends with them being out of prison, and they'll do the trial, but we're not going to see the episode of it. But it basically ends with the girlfriend did lie about seeing the license plate to put Al's family in prison, which they deserve because they definitely did it, but they deserve to be in prison on not fabricated evidence.
Yeah, exactly. But Al really is truly like the gem of the episode, which like I hate saying in the sense that like James wasn't in the episode that I watched prior that I just talked about. Cause like, yeah, he has his moments, but Al really shines in this thing. Like he was
Yeah.
putting his all into it, and it's kind of sad to think like his career never continued after this stuff.
Yeah. Well, he's good at playing the really smart kid. That's the end of my sentence. He's really good at playing the smart kid.
I was gonna say, and what else?
That's it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, what else has he done?
He was
With Peace
in
and Love, what else has
Mannequin
he done?
2. Mannequin 2.
Greenskeeper.
He's phenomenal. And The Greenskeeper.
I thought we were gonna say
Greenskeeper Erasure.
Greenskeeper, greatest movie of all time.
Yeah.
Because
No.
Greenskeeper, where I came to learn that girls don't shit.
They don't.
But yeah, that's really all I got for my 2 episodes. I would definitely recommend the Al Law and Order one. It's the one I understood the best, and he was good in it. I mean, you can't go wrong with Emily Gilmore, and Mr. Big is the head detective. I don't know.
That's
Steve would know
Alicia
his
Florrick's
name.
husband. Alicia
Yeah.
Florrick's cheating husband.
Yeah. And then Estelle Harris makes like the quickest of cameos in it, which is crazy. You know, our girl Miss Potato Head there, and she was in like Sweet Life of Zach and Cody and a bunch of stuff.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Queen.
She was in there for like literally maybe 2 minutes and slayed. But yeah.
She.
All right. I guess who's next?
I am. And I'm talking about more. Well, so I have 2 episodes of Law and Order SVU with James. James has done 4 episodes of like in the Law and Order universe. His first one he was on screen for like 10 seconds and it doesn't really count. And then the one Ashley just talked about, Criminal Intent. And then these 2 are from the long-running SVU universe. The first episode is from 2008. It's called Inconceivable. And in terms of James, like, there's really only one scene to go over, and there's not a lot to talk about unless we want to discuss the medical ethics of disabled children, which I imagine we don't, but we can. So the setup to the 2008 episode is that a big tube of frozen embryos has been stolen from a sperm bank, and the team at SVU are trying to figure out who did it. And James and his wife are accused of potentially stealing these embryos. So their 9-year-old daughter is developmentally disabled. She is 9 years old, but they say she has the mind of a 3-month-old and, is going to need long-term care her entire life. James and his wife reveal that they harvested their daughter's eggs so that the wife could carry children, so that they could have more children that are biologically her grandchildren. So they also tell Benson and Stabler that they plan on having their daughter's ovaries removed and stunting her puberty, which is something that gets talked about in other Law and Order episodes. Like, I don't know how widespread of a thing this was in the late 2000s, that like this came up multiple times, where parents would stunt their disabled children's puberty, so that they wouldn't develop and, they wouldn't grow anymore. And it's this whole thing because Benson and Stabler are like, that's child abuse, and you're just doing that for your own convenience, not for the, life of your child. Um, i- it's it's there's a lot in this, 7-minute segment of this episode that is already pretty heavy. Um, but th- they leave, and the couple is never seen or heard from again because they didn't steal the embryos. And then that's it.
I mean, James is a king for not causing trouble.
Yeah, he caused a lot of causing a lot of trouble. Um,
But shout out to not stealing the embryos.
Yeah, that's what I meant, I guess.
yeah, good on not that crime, but perhaps the crime of, mutilating your child. Anyway,
Yeah.
the 2017 episode uh is entitled Real Fake News. This is B's favorite one. This follows the real life case of Pizzagate. And if you're from America, then you're probably familiar with this case, but to make like a really long story short, emails from certain government officials were hacked and leaked, and this guy on Twitter began a theory that these officials were running a sex ring in the basement of a pizzeria. A man then went to the pizzeria and shot at people, and no one was hurt, and a thorough investigation was done into the sex ring claims, which were instantly debunked on the flimsy finding that the pizzeria doesn't have a basement to run a sex ring in. So in this episode, it's James's emails that get hacked because he is a congressman. And people on the internet think that he is running a child sex ring in the basement of a Chinese restaurant. So he goes to Olivia Benson and asks her to investigate him to prove that he is, in fact, not running a child sex ring and that he just likes Chinese food. So Carisi and Ice-T go to the restaurant just as a man with a gun shows up and demands to see the basement, and there is no basement. So Congressman James Waterston is in the clear for now, but the team comes across real child sex rings online, in the investigation of finding out if he was involved with them or not, and he's not, but there are real sex rings, and they now need to bust those. And the requests and demands for child sex slaves bring them back to the congressman, who claims that he had never done anything like that and would never ask for anything like that, and that he basically says like that hackers or whoever, computer people, put those claims or tracked those claims to his IP address in his home in New York, and in his home in DC, to implicate him in the child sex rings. But they were able to prove that it wasn't him, because he wasn't in his home at the time that those requests were made. And they're able to actually stop a child sex ring that is not run in the basement of a Chinese restaurant and does not involve a congressperson. And then at the end of the episode, he goes to the Chinese restaurant to prove that it is a safe place to go because there are no child sex slaves, and he gets shot and dies.
Yeah. But the way he's just laying there on the floor, so goofy. It's so goofy.
It
Like,
really is.
He's
we
not
love
like he's not like Peter Griffin, like sprawled on the floor. He's like, it's like he's already in a coffin, laying
Yeah.
like his arms at
Yes.
his side, perfectly straight.
Like, he's so rigid with it.
Like the way vampires like sleep in movies, that's him on the floor of this Chinese restaurant.
It's like
Like
rigor
Covered in
mortis said
ketchup.
the moment the bullet hit him. He just fully rigor mortis right there. So
He
goofy.
can't, like, and his daughter is there because he brought his daughter to be like, this is a safe place to bring your kids, and his daughter's there, and they can't even like put a like sheet over his body, and they just have her in full view of her dead dad.
Kind of just comes out of nowhere too. Where she's like, oh, okay, he's dead now. That's great. Wow.
The implication is like, even though they, stopped the sex ring and they proved that it was that there was no, that like, even though they proved it, there were still going to be people who believed that that he was running a sex ring there and that he was a bad guy, and just like real life.
But just the way he's just laid there.
Yeah. He's just sleeping, don't worry.
He's just sleeping. Don't worry, guys. He's fine. He's fine. Just have a nap.
Yeah, he's just having a little nap. And if it's okay with you guys, I know I said I just had 2 episodes to address, but there's actually one more thing I need to talk about.
By all
I
means.
I suppose we can let you.
yeah.
So,
The council has decided yes.
are you guys familiar with the show The Deuce?
Oh no,
Oh,
no.
I knew this. I knew the second you asked it was this. I knew.
We are familiar with the whole 2 minutes that you shared.
Yeah.
Are
That's the
you
only thing I'm
familiar
familiar
with the show The Deuce? So The Deuce is it was on HBO, is about the start of the pornography business in New York in the 70s. It has James Franco playing twins, so there's double James Franco, which is unfortunate. But there is a scene, I don't know how, is like 10 minutes in, 15 minutes in,
The scene
when
is
we
it,
were when we were looking for it, I accidentally clicked right to it. And it has Mr. James Waterston, and this is the pilot episode, I should say. And it's the 70s, so a multitude of things are going on. Chest hair, mustache, sleeping with your students. So he is a professor at a university, and he, who's, in his 40s, is sleeping with one of his students who is probably over the age of 18. Not appropriate. Not appropriate. Not illegal, but not appropriate.
icky all around.
Yes. And look, she makes fun of him for the face that he makes when he comes.
Uh-huh.
And he is like, man, I shouldn't be sleeping with my student. This is so bad because I'm old enough to be your dad. He's saying that while he's like still inside of her, by the way.
She's riding him. That's the
Yes.
best way to put it. On a couch.
Yes. And to my knowledge, this is the one and only time we hear from this professor. I believe that the student is a main character. I don't know because I have only seen this part of this whole series.
Yep.
Why would
Yep.
I watch the rest of it?
Yeah.
I've seen all I need to see,
They started so strong, and it can only go downhill from there.
honestly. Um, do you guys have anything you want to say about this, or is
Oh, what else there is to say about it, really?
I feel like you've covered that.
Oh, you guys don't have any insight you'd like to give to this 2-minute scene?
Let's just say it is highly attractive, but only because of him, not because of the situation he's in.
Oh no. He is a beautiful man with a
Yeah.
beautiful mustache.
And
The
beautiful chest hair.
the mustache is doing a lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah. It really works.
I first knew about this scene because someone
Oh no!
someone who is a fan of his sister, Catherine Waterston, who was in the Fantastic Beasts movies, posted about it on Tumblr, and I happened to stumble across a screenshot of it, and the screenshot came from this website called, was it mancrushmonday.com, which looks and sounds like a website from like 2003, but it's not. It is from recent, I mean, within the last 10 years. Do you guys remember what we found on that website?
I think my lesbianism just took over and repressed the whole thing.
Of course. What we found when we went to that website was not only other screenshots from this scene, which were wonderful, but we found the page dedicated to James Waterston, who's a very attractive man. And we found some users, some people commenting on this page who, this could be fake. This could be completely fake. But appeared to be, and if they're fake, it's honestly funnier, appeared to be Josh Charles, Dylan Cussman, and Gail Hansen.
I forgot all about this.
Oh
I
my
did
God.
not. I
Oh
did
my-
not forget.
That's so good. I also totally forgot about it.
How did we repress that?
It was just, I imagine if they are real, which the chances of it are, I mean, we'll never know, because I'm not gonna ask.
Though.
I'll ask.
Next DM.
Send the screenshots my way,
True or
I'll ask.
false?
Bet.
It was just them, like, it was just them being like, James is attractive, and that was kind of the end of it. I imagine if they were real, just boys being boys, making fun of their buddy who was, you know, took this job that,
Led to him being featured on mancrushmonday.com.
yeah. And look, I mean, you gotta make money. Like, you gotta make money somehow. And I respect and love James Waterston for being on Law and Order 4 times, and doing this scene that some may say is a bit degrading. I wouldn't say something like that.
Empowering.
Empowering.
Because it shows that people with that mustache can still fuck.
Yeah.
For real.
And not only that they can, but they could actually be kind of good at it.
Yeah. They can get bitches.
Yeah, they can get 19-year-old bitch.
Okay, I wasn't gonna say that part, but like, okay, I guess.
Okay, I think we've discussed that enough. Chloe, send us off, will you? You've got a gem to discuss.
We're returning to the universe of James Waterston as a man about to be divorced with The Good Wife. And if you are not familiar with The Good Wife, very, very briefly, it's a legal drama following Alicia Florrick, the wife of a disgraced state's attorney who returns to work as a lawyer at a firm run by her longtime friend and former classmate Will Gardner, played by our favourite lover boy, Josh Charles. And he's very, very good in this TV show, by the way, so highly recommend. Our episode is season 1, episode 14, called High, which I have some thoughts about.
Hi.
That's not the point.
Hi.
Just hi. Hi.
Hi.
Yes, James is a husband accused of murdering his babysitter, a college-age student. Funnily enough. So this accusation hinges on his marriage sort of crumbling due to recent unemployment and his new role as a stay-at-home dad, which is seeing a lot of parallels to the other episodes discussed, and his wife's belief that he's cheating with the college-age babysitter. And I would like to make it clear, he's not doing any of these things. You wouldn't think it by the way that he answers the lawyers who are trying to, make sure he doesn't go to prison for
But the
murder.
way that he acts completely guilty about it.
So bitchy. Every time you give him a chance to talk, he will say something so defensive, with so much attitude. And I admire this in him. Where were you that night? Watching a foreign film with subtitles, which apparently he does every Thursday. Do you speak Chinese? I don't speak Chinese. There are subtitles. You get the picture.
But they checked the movie theater and they weren't showing movies with subtitles.
What?
That like,
Yeah.
that point of like I went to Chinatown to this specific theater to watch this specific kind of Chinese cartoon film, not dubbed, subbed. When he could have been like, yeah, I went to the AMC downtown and saw Iron Man 3, and like if they went to a movie theater and they held up a picture of a white man with dark hair and they were like, "Did you see this man?" They'd probably say yes. But the fact that he placed himself so specifically somewhere where he would stand out and he didn't, he threw his ticket away like a dumbass. Yeah,
It gets
as Chloe
worse.
said,
It gets worse for James.
yes.
So he does not explain any of this to his lawyers, but it turns out he has a secret apartment rented, I think, with his wife's money,
Of course.
which he's saying is a studio for the graphic novel he's working on. Except Alicia will wander over to this apartment, and what does she find? A hairbrush with long blonde hair and a bra in the
Yeah,
apartment.
which you would find in any man's studio.
Of course. And, the babysitter was writing a bit for the graphic novel, but at no point does he try to disclose this. At no point does he go, oh yeah, I gave her the key to this apartment. I don't know what she's doing in there. No. He makes them work for those answers.
Yeah.
Then he's just like, you know what? I just knew how it would look.
Yeah, I knew that it would look really
None of your
suspicious
business.
if I told you the truth, which was that I was going behind my wife's back. So instead, I lied and said I would never go behind my wife's back and do something like that. You're crazy for thinking that.
You know what's even crazier?
What?
Babysitter's pregnant.
The
And what does James' character do when the lawyers ask him, "Did you know she was pregnant?" He does not
He
say
said,
there was no affair.
well, so in that scenario where you're confronted with your babysitter who you're being accused of killing, was pregnant and would give you motive to kill her, if I were in that scenario, I would say, assuming that it was the truth, I would say, I didn't kill her because I got her pregnant, because I never had sex with her. I couldn't have gotten her pregnant. But he doesn't say that. He says, I couldn't have gotten her pregnant because I had a vasectomy. Not that they never had sex.
Which they didn't.
Which they didn't. It was Mark Zuckerberg.
It was the social network man.
Yeah. It was some guy from her university who we see twice, which is way less interesting.
Yeah. Everything James does in this, it was just for the plot, honestly. He was bored.
He just wanted to make the lawyers' lives as hard as humanly possible.
Yeah, exactly.
He saw Josh Charles and he went, you know what, I want to make that man stressed. And he committed. He really brought up the stress lines.
Also, to be a fly on the wall when they were making this episode.
Right.
Because, there have been crossovers with actors in other shows, like on House and House, but, they don't really interact with each other very often. There's a lot of interaction between these two, and it's really funny to imagine the two of them, this is 20 years after Dead Poets Society, and, Knox Overstreet was destined to be a lawyer, and now here's Josh Charles playing a lawyer on a legal show, having to defend a castmate from a murder charge. I would just love to know everything. What was it like? How was it? Did they have fun?
Really goofy
They
time.
reminisced.
Yeah.
I like to imagine they hugged each other after every take.
Yeah. I would like to imagine
that interrogation room.
I would like to imagine they kept kicking each other under the table.
Yeah, I want to them as brothers and being cute. I don't know.
I hope they did. So Chloe and I have watched The Good Wife. B and Ashley have not, other than this episode. Am I correct?
Correct.
Yeah, we want to watch it so bad. I just got to get to it.
Because,
You need to watch it.
Chloe, you would agree with me, Josh Charles is a fantastic actor, but in this show in particular, he just fucking is stealing the spotlight every time his character is dumb as fuck. He plays a dumb person really well.
He's surrounded by all these great actors all the time as well, which is just, that's his level of acting in this, that he's going up against these really big names and he's shining. Talking of the big names, guess who else appears in this episode in the parallel plotline we're not going to talk about to do with Alicia? Old friend Pedro Pascal appears.
Oh my god, I forgot Pedro was in this episode.
Oh no! He's around.
What? He turns up in the other courtroom with the other thing that's happening with Alicia.
Where Mike Logan from Law and Order is.
Yeah. The crossover of the century. There is also Logan from Gilmore Girls high on mushrooms the whole time they're investigating
Hell
this.
yeah.
Archie Punjabi, Bend It Like Beckham, Doctor Who, that she
Queen.
is threatening a judge casually on the side. Christine
hmm
Baranski's is there. Just everybody's there having a great time around James, making himself look incredibly guilty for things he didn't do and losing the marriage after not doing any of these things right at the
Well,
end.
so
So,
at a certain point, to get back to the episode, at a certain point, they start to think that maybe the wife did it because she thought an affair was happening and she was jealous. Therefore, maybe she killed the babysitter out of rage. But she says, I was not there that night, I was at work. But then they find out that she signed for a package that evening, when the babysitter was murdered, and they were like, "So you were there?" And she says, "Oh yeah." She tells this hilarious story of she thought an affair was happening, and so she was gonna go home and surprise them and be like, "I know the affair is happening, and I'm divorcing your ass and you're fired." But then she goes home and James is not there and the babysitter is there babysitting. And then
Doing
in
the
the
duper.
same breath, she's like, "I would never kill my babysitter. That's absurd." So then,
she also
so then,
reveals there was a nanny cam. She could have
yes,
turned on and watched at any point.
yes. And she has the nanny cam that conveniently was not turned on the night of the murder, so they couldn't see who did it. And also, there was weed in their house that doesn't really get addressed ever again.
James smoked in college, don't you remember?
He smoked in college,
Smoked
therefore
in
there is
college.
weed in their house. So then at the end of the episode, like they find out it's Mark Zuckerberg who did it. And Mark Zuckerberg tried to implicate James in killing the babysitter, but it was him. But then Josh and Christine Baranski, who's in this show, are like, "Man, marriage is fucking whack. Can you believe these two? They kept lying to each other, and like she thought he was capable of murder and was totally gonna throw him under the bus for it. And now he's like, "What the hell? You were gonna implicate me in murder? You thought I was cheating on you? How dare you? I was just stealing your money."
Was being a sugar baby. Is that a crime?
Is that a crime? And that's illegal?
So what we've learned today is basically if a DPS cast member stars in a crime show, Pedro Pascal will probably accidentally be there by default.
Well, what we've learned is that they, like, of all the episodes today that we've talked about, with the exception of Gale, because he did kill someone, but they've never done the thing that they're accused of.
They're good boys.
They're gonna suffer. They're gonna suffer anyway.
Yeah. They're gonna be there, for a while being like, "I didn't do it, but I'm gonna act really fucking guilty about it." I love The Good Wife. I might need to go back and watch that show again.
I feel a rewatch coming, like honestly. It brought me back to being 15.
I mean, yeah, I guess that brings us to the end of this episode. The TV special. I hope it was somewhat coherent and enjoyable. I would like to make an executive choice here that next time we talk about the Greenskeeper,
Oh my god.
which
Oh
I
my god.
paired. Well, we can talk about what we'll pair it with, but we'll definitely talk about the Greenskeeper next week. How about that?
I am
like
so down. I am so
Just
down.
for you, B.
Yay! For me! I feel so
Okay.
honored.
That's the end of this episode then. We hope you enjoyed listening. We hope we'll see you next time for more review, commentary, explanation,
Good time,
discussion,
fun time.
good time, fun time,
Fusion.
game.
Yeah.
The end. Thank you,
Awesome.
Craig.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you, listeners.
Good.
Thank you.
Goodbye.